we're in front of a very special guitar today. I actually saw this being played by the man himself this morning at a breakfast.
Lucky you.
Yeah, the Eric Johnson semi-hollow-bodied Strat.
Yeah.
Tell me your side of the story.
Well, this is something of a coup for our engineering department. We actually have done Thinline Strats before in the past, but they were always flat top. The challenge for this model was Eric Johnson's obviously one of the most respected, incredible guitarists on the planet. He challenged us to do a Strat that had proper Strat contours. He didn't want a flat top. We'd never really done that before. And so one of the coolest things I think about this instrument is that we actually did a Thinline Stratocaster that has all the proper contours and belly cut and everything that a Stratocaster would have. It's not a flat top Stratocaster. And that was no small feat for our guys at the plant to do that. Eric actually did it's kind of a top and a back situation here, and Eric experimented with a lot of different woods. He tried ash over alder, ash over ash, alder over alder. It ended up being that he liked the alder top over alder, so this is all alder. And went through a lot of different versions before he decided on that configuration. Once he did like it, it's basically an Eric Johnson Strat with a thin line body. So his custom pickups, the cool tuners that are staggered vintage tuners with no string tree. We've got no screw holes to mount the back plate. Every little fine detail that the Eric Johnson Strat is, so this guitar is, with the added benefit of having this beautiful aesthetic. And it actually warms up the tone a little bit, having that acoustic flow.
He was telling me that with the prototypes that that was one of the areas that took a bit of tweaking.
It did, yeah. When you're using lacquer and you're sanding around the edges of the F-hole, you can burn through, and there's challenges painting it. So it wasn't easy to do, but when we hit upon we also moved the position of the F-hole a few times to make it more aesthetically pleasing, and Eric made the decisions on that as well. And once we finally hit the nail on the head, so to speak, he was overwhelmingly pleased with the instrument. In fact, we had just sent him, he had many different prototypes that we made him, and the artists like to keep the prototypes usually, but he got one of them out of stock from our warehouse, and it was so good that he said, you know what, I'm sending your prototypes back, because the one that came out of your warehouse is better than all those prototypes. So that was a ringing endorsement from the man himself that we're making them just as nice on the production line. So that was a wonderful thing.
Yeah, he was saying that there was a bit of fiddling with the amount of solid body in it.
Yeah, it's kind of like chambers on each side here, where there's
mainly through the
wood is in the middle here, and there's chambers on each side, and that's why it's also incredibly light. That's another benefit, obviously, of the thin line, is that it gets incredibly light. So even people that haven't maybe delved into Eric Johnson's catalog, which is amazing, and they should, they're going to love playing this guitar too, because again, Eric Johnson is a very particular exacting player, and the specs that he chose and the pickups that he custom designed with us just end up making this instrument a joy to play, and it sounds wonderful too. One of the best pickup sets that we make, we pot the pickups using wax that's a certain temperature according to his specifications. All sorts of really fine level of detail that we go to make this, and the man himself has to approve them, and he does. So.
And the great thing is, yeah, but the great thing is it's not a limited edition run. It's
correct. This is going to be in the line for several years. Yeah, a lot of times we do limited runs where we sell it for maybe just a year or two, or limit the number of units. But this is actually a permanent addition to our Artist Series line now, so it's going to live on. And we're probably going to maybe experiment with some new colors. You never know what could happen.
Right, Alan, thanks for your time.
Thank you.